Good afternoon, Your Honors. The matter before the court this afternoon is the case entitled Mina Lopez v. Scott Marshall, case number 24 AP 355. Appellant Mina Lopez is self-represented. Representing the appellee, Scott Marshall, is attorney John Mabee. Present with attorney Mabee is Scott Marshall, Laura Dunsey, and Aaron Burr.
All right, and Ms. Lopez, please identify yourself for the record, and then you may proceed with your argument. You have 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is I'm Mina Lopez. I'm trying to what is it? Is that enough or?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. It's what I want to say is it's impossible to co-parent with Scott because he runs away at conflicts and any conflicts, won't text back and avoids important conversations. Like the reason we're here today. Also, he doesn't respond to other parents when my daughter's at a sleepover or a birthday party and they're trying to bring her back. Scott and his lawyer added the transcripts, even though I requested they not be used. So we can have a fair trial here. He knows I'm not good under pressure and I freeze up and all of those kind of things. And he knows I don't have a lawyer to guide me, to help me to win and to guide me through this nightmare. He enjoys seeing me fail. And he knows that I don't have, I'm not spoiled with with money or with family that can get me a lawyer. I also don't like him having Athena on weekends because she complains about going to see him. She hates him and cries at the idea of her the idea of that he could win. I feel I am sorry. I am very sorry. I married Scott. At all. I would take it back if I could. But I shouldn't have to live with that mistake for the rest of my life. I shouldn't have to pay for that mistake for the rest of my life. Scott only cares about power and control, not Athena or what she wants. He hasn't even bothered to ask her what she wants, though. He hasn't bothered in all this because he only cares about himself. Athena hates him, hates even going with him on the weekends. Scott doesn't make her do simple tasks like take showers. He refuses to clean out his shower. He's got spiders in there that he refuses to clean. He knows she's petrified. She's scared to death of spiders. But still, he doesn't clean the shower so she can take showers there. He didn't even get a separate bed for her until just recently. And he was 48 before he learned to screw in a light bulb. How can he raise a child if he can't even do that? When Scott and I were married, he verbally and physically abused me. And he verbally and physically abused my son. How do I know he won't do that to Athena? We've seen bruises on her. But my son was too scared to tell me about the abuse, all the abuse that Scott did to him until recently, until after he left. So we don't know if she's holding things back. I should be able to move and better my life. And that will never happen if I stay in this country, in this town. It's not fair that Scott to try to control my life. By holding me here. My life here is going nowhere. As I stay, I will be in debt as long as I stay here, I'm be in debt the rest of my life. And I'm not happy here. And what was it? What's that one about? And we know plenty of people who co-parent in different countries or different states, and they make it work. They didn't even go to court to do it. They make it work. They don't run away from each other.
Ms. Lopez, please finish up your thought, and then you're out of time. So wrap up what you were thinking about saying right then, and then your time is up.
What else did I say? I feel like this is my death sentence. And you're determining whether I'm going to live or die, as my freedom is being taken away from me piece by piece. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to die, but in that sense, it's like I feel like I'm like I should be able to control my future.
All right. Thank you so
Scott.
much. Thank you very much for your argument. You are out of time. We'll now hear from the counsel for the appellee. Please identify yourself and your client, and then you may proceed, and you have 5 minutes as well.
May it please the court, John Mabey of Brattleboro, representing the father or appellee, Scott Marshall. I will be very brief and principally rely upon the brief and printed case that we submitted to the court. The parental rights and responsibilities order that the family division entered was based on a stipulation of the parties. At the time, both had experienced counsel, myself for Mr. Marshall and Sharon Annis for Mina Lopez. And the parties agreed to the terms to share legal custody, to provide significant time for my client. And in fact, he was the after-school dad every day after school. So he's been very, very involved with the child's life. Many of the things Mina has said in her written submissions and in her argument today were either hearsay, were nowhere in the record. So she certainly has a lot of thoughts going in a lot of different directions. But quite simply, we think Judge Mann handled the case properly, appropriately. We had a fair hearing. She made a determination that there was no real substantial and unanticipated change of circumstances and enforced the parties' agreement, which was, in fact, the final order below. So we think Judge Mann should be affirmed in all respects. And again, we'll otherwise rely on the brief unless the court has questions.
I do not see that any of my colleagues have any questions, so we'll instruct the bailiff, please, to call the conclusion of the case.
The next hearing for the court will follow immediately.
Thank you both very much.